New history of eSports together with 32 teams. TanksAsia Open Season. TanksAsia Open Season Finals is about to start after 5-week journey with the participants from various countries. Who will grab the honor of becoming the first champion here at the MBK of Thailand? Final 2 teams that survived through an intense and brutal war. You Are Dead versus Night Eagle. Continuously defeated strong opponents to fulfill their dream of becoming the finalists. You Are Dead defeated the fan favorite Avant-Garde 3-0 to stand on the final stage. Night Eagle advanced to become the final victor of the battle that the whole world has been waiting for. TanksAsia Open Season Finals. Now the first championship team will be born.
All right, welcome everyone, and yes, of course, we're bringing.
ขอต้อนรับทุกท่านเลยค่ะเข้าสู่ในงานของ The 2013 นะคะ TanksAsia Open Season Finals ค่ะดิฉันนะคะ MC ลูกเกดค่ะรับเกียรติตรงนี้นะคะเป็นพิธีกรค่ะในงานค่ะและก็รู้สึกเป็นเกียรติอย่างยิ่งนะคะที่ได้เป็นส่วนหนึ่งของช่วงเวลาแห่งประวัติศาสตร์ตรงนี้นะคะและการแข่งขันของเราค่ะก็เริ่มต้นกันมาตั้งแต่ 11 เมษายนแล้วนะคะซึ่งถือได้ว่าการแข่งขันของเราก็ดำเนินมาจนถึงตอนช่วงนี้แล้วนะคะก็ค่อนข้างยาวนานเหมือนกันนะคะและตอนนี้ค่ะเราก็ได้แล้วค่ะสำหรับ2ทีมสุดท้ายค่ะที่จะมาแข่งขันกันที่ MBK ประเทศไทยตรงนี้วันนี้นะคะซึ่ง2ทีมที่มีความเข้มแข็งตรงนี้นะคะใครจะได้เป็นนะคะทีมที่แข็งแกร่งที่สุดของเอเชียกับเกม World of Tanks นั่นเองค่ะและตอนนี้นะคะดิฉันก็รู้สึกตื่นเต้นมากๆเลยค่ะที่จะประกาศชื่อนะคะของ2ทีมสุดท้ายตรงนี้ค่ะเริ่มต้นที่ทีมแรกกันก่อนเลยแล้วกันนะคะนั่นก็คือทีม You Are Dead ค่ะ First the team that defeated very strong team right from the start team You Are Deadเพราะว่าในทีมของเขาเนี่ยประกอบไปด้วยผู้เข้าแข่งขันนะคะที่มีความเข้มแข็งมากๆเลยนะคะและก็ลำดับต่อไปค่ะดิฉันขอบอกว่าน่าสนใจอีกเช่นกันค่ะสำหรับทีมที่2ค่ะซึ่งทีมของเขานะคะเป็นทีมที่เอาชนะสำหรับทีมอเวนการ์ดนะคะในรอบรองชนะเลิศมาได้นะคะเพื่อเข้าสู่รอบไฟนอลตรงนี้นะคะซึ่งน่าสนใจมากๆค่ะจะเป็นใครไปไม่ได้เลยนะคะสำหรับทีมต่อไปของเราค่ะนั่นก็คือทีม Night Eagle นะคะ Please welcome the second team of us the Night Eagles
Absolutely, and there we are, the Night Eagles on screen right now, and looking pretty serious.
Yeah, a little bit. I feel like they look a bit sad.
Well, I mean, like, I don't want to say that they're not looking confident, but it really definitely looks they mean business out here. They didn't come here as tourists, perhaps not as relaxed as their opponents from You Are Dead, but you know what? They did take out Avant-Garde.
Yeah, they did.
Who were considered by many as the favorites in the tournament. So definitely they don't want to lose now. Of course, being on the grand final stage, they would. So yes, definitely here taking a look at the 3D MC, just mastering the ceremony out there in Thailand.
Yeah, I definitely feel both these teams deserve to be here. They both defeated quite difficult opponents, you know, coming up to this final game.
Oh, they definitely had a tough road, of course, both of these teams. When it comes to You Are Dead, even against V, they did very, very well. Team rolling 3-love, but what really did impress me was their win against RTAE in the quarterfinals, because they completely destroyed RTAE, like 3-love. And not to mention, of course, and not to forget, their semi-final against IF Professional, and that was one clean victory as well. So,
even V, the team V that they defeated.
Yeah, exactly. It's just, okay, their first matchup against Efficiency, to be honest, was a little boring.
Yeah, it was pretty one-sided. You know, both teams weren't really doing anything. It was our first game of the tournament.
Of course, there were lots of nerves playing into it, and of course, a lot of it has to do with their opponents as well. Efficiency didn't really just accepting combat during that first game, so it was a long, drawn-out, painful sort of opening game we had seen. But after that, they kept a clean sheet. I mean, like, you should take a look at the stats, the numbers.
They only lost one game.
Well, exactly. Only losing one set against Efficiency, which arguably was the weakest opponent they've had to the road to the final. But especially against RTA and IF Professional, they was just like absolutely stellar in that performance. Their domination was just like, was crucial. And at the same time, what I want to say is that well, when it comes to You Are Dead, they offered us a really nice mixture of both offense and defense.
Yeah, they did.
You know, you've got all those really aggressive teams out there. Just I'm thinking V, of course, but also like PvP2, Alpha Team Singapore, RTAE, Avant-Garde as well. But You Are Dead just sort of the best of both worlds.
Yeah, definitely. They knew when to go to their opponents, bring the fight to the opponents, and they actually also knew when to defend as well.
Exactly. And when it comes to their opponents, Night Eagles, not too much of a surprise to actually notice that they have a similar playstyle.
I feel like the best teams definitely have to have a little bit of both worlds, and you know, you have to know when to be aggressive, and you also have to know when to just sit back and kind of wait for the opponent to make the first move.
Well, it's all about adaptability, as you said, pretty much. Like, yeah, both these teams perhaps not the most aggressive that we've seen. Well, compare once again to teams like PvP2 or Alpha Team Singapore, or even to a certain degree, of course, Avant-Garde. But at the same time, they have the ability to sort of switch their games according to the map and according to the opponent as well. They very, very much
and according to the tank selections as well. I think we saw that
they're very malleable. In fact, it's pretty hard to kind of predict any type of brutal type, you know, just head-front strategy with these teams. But at the same time, they've both in counter-attacking, but sometimes when they do have to take things into their own hands and play offense, they did it superbly as well. So we are almost set to go now. You Are Dead versus the Night Eagles. This is a best of 7 match.
Yeah.
Alright, so a pretty exciting introduction here to our grand final. As we had just mentioned, of course, this is a best of 7 matchup. So unlike the best of 5s that we have seen today, of course, right now we are live here at the Gangnam TV studio, bringing you this final that is taking place in Bangkok. Of course, I'm Philippe Cho, your host. This is Andy Yu. We're pretty excited to be here. It's been a long road, eh?
It has. It has been a very long road. I'm so excited to see these final 2 teams in the finals, because we've seen so many different types of games. We've seen, you know, the more kind of boring, more passive, you know, no one's doing anything for 20 minutes
we've seen a fair share of camping.
And we've seen, you know, just all-out brawls in the first 30 seconds of the match as well. So, you know, I feel like both these teams, they're really, really great at, you know, having both of the best worlds. You know, they know when to be aggressive, they know when to be defensive, and at the same time, they're just extremely entertaining to watch.
Well, yes, indeed. We're going to have to see if that final can live up to the hype, but I'm sure it will as well. Do you expect it to go the distance?
I really hope so. I really want to see these teams really brawl it out and have, a really deserved victory, I want to say.
All right, well, let's take a closer look to a final right now. All right, there you go. You Are Dead versus the Night Eagles, and yeah, as we had seen earlier during the highlights, the video highlights, of course, You Are Dead progressing against Efficiency, V, RTAE, and finally, of course, they took out IF Professional. And taking a closer look at their roster here, of course, led by Captain Cognac Wine, 11 members strong, and taking a closer look at their first game as against Efficiency. That was the only set that they've lost, actually.
Yeah.
And yes, of course, after that, a pretty clean win against V. And RTAE, that was a surprising win, at least to me. I mean, the commanding fashion in which they actually dismantled RTAE as well. So definitely, that's when I realized, okay, You Are Dead definitely mean business here.
Yeah, definitely.
And now the Night Eagles.
Yep, and taking a look at the Night Eagles team, the captain is CKSBB and the rest of his members.
Yeah, and taking a look once again at their progress. Civ first, a very comfortable win to say the least. I mean, just a 3-0 victory. And against Fatigue Bell, it went the distance. That was a really highly contested match. It could have gone either way, but ultimately the Night Eagles winning that one as well. And after losing the first set against City Dogs Revolution in the quarterfinals, they progressed pretty easily. And then the most impressive was their win against Avant-Garde.
Yeah, I really, honestly, personally, even though the Night Eagles deserve to be here at the finals, I really expected Avant-Garde to proceed because
I think everybody did.
Yeah, because in the previous rounds, Avant-Garde were just so good.
And dominating
everything,
as well. Although it was a 3-0 victory for the Night Eagles, he wasn't a walk in the park though.
Yeah.
It was fairly small.
Yeah,
the small margin was. Now taking a look at the map selection, unfortunately just flipped up a little too fast for us, pretty to behold. In any event, no worries, we'll still keep you posted about the map selection for today. And now, of course, taking a look at You Are Dead with their game faces on now.
Yeah, definitely. He did bring his sunglasses too, so it might be a little bit too bright out there.
Perhaps.
Yeah, although it is nighttime,
Yeah, and the Night Eagles all wearing their caps out there, so we just took a look at their players. Of course, they're making their last adjustments as to, their settings as well, just making sure to get comfortable in their seats. Now, for most of these players, it's the first time playing in a live just offline sort of setting with a crowd, with the camera in front of them, with the music, the hype, the lights, etc. And of course, the biggest carrot of it all being, well, the 50,000 prize money at the end for the victors. So definitely a lot of nerves coming into action. It's not the same as playing in the comfort of your own home and logging in just in time for this online competition. So I'm really curious.
That could kind of play into
how absolutely. I think the nerve factor is going to be absolutely brutal here because they're really not used to it. In any case, we're now ready to roll out. Let's go to Himmelstohl for set number 1.
You Are Dead versus Night Eagles.
Alright, You Are Dead versus the Night Eagles. This is the first set of this final taking place on Himmelstohl.
Yep, and taking a quick look at their tank selection. The You Are Dead team going for 4 heavy tanks, and of course that 1 light WZ-132, and of course those 2 T1 scouts.
Yeah, whereas their opponents here from the Night Eagles opting for 3 T69 mediums, so
a little bit more mobility, I would say, coming out from the Night Eagles.
But you know what? We've seen this tank startup lineup quite often, opting for those T69s as well. That does give them quite a few options out there. Now, when it comes to sheer firepower, they're obviously outgunned, but it's all going to depend on how they're going to maneuver this. In terms of heavy tanks, they only have one IS-3 and 1 T-32. Now, You Are Dead starting up north for clarification's sake, while the Night Eagles shall be starting down south.
And the You Are Dead team actually moving towards that western railway area, so they could look for a push down there, and whereas their opponents, the Night Eagles, actually going for a eastern, more not up the hill, but kind of hugging the base of.
It's a very we've seen this defensive setup quite often from the team starting down south, pretty much squatting the southeastern end of that central park area, leaving 1 scout to the hill and 1 scout to the railroad. So undoubtedly the scout to the railroad soon is going to realize that that WZ-132 is just pretty much taking a peek at a western push.
Yep, and actually if if the Night Eagles team sees a west push coming on, they actually could just push straight down the middle of the map.
And I think that's what they're doing right now. As a matter of fact, they're actually cutting like through the central park, so they're extremely exposed. Those 3 T-69s pushing out strong. However,
but I mean, URDead will have plenty of time to respond
to this, obviously. But however, the T-32 and the IS-3 are now just also progressing up north.
Oh, and the base capture has started.
Yeah, the base capture has started. 11%.
Have to pull back and defend this.
Well, yeah, but URDead's gonna have all the time in the world to just counter this. And yes, already we can see the MX-50s just coming back.
Yeah, they have to get back to defend this because actually they pretty much have over 3 tanks in that starting base right now. So this base capture will happen extremely fast. Actually, almost over 60% now. So they gotta
get a shot.
Yeah, they have to damage at least one of those tanks up there in that base. But the Night Eagles doing a great job of defending this. Though.
Indeed, the Night Eagles are doing a very, very nice job.
It has been delayed though.
Yeah, it has been delayed, so there you go.
Yeah, the rest of the URDead team now moving in to defend their base.
Yeah, the T-69 is not going to last pretty much. He's pretty much cornered. And once again, the starting position up north not giving you a lot of cover pretty much to defend this. So yeah, they're pretty much getting mangled out there.
Yeah, just one by one the Night Eagles getting taken down. It looks like the URDead team will take this first set.
Yes, indeed, quite comfortably so. As a matter of fact, this last tank's really not doing much here.
Yeah, definitely not. And I mean, the URDead also have 2 of their T1s capturing the Night Eagles base as well. So even though these Night Eagles,
and besides the Night Eagles can't do they can't do anything because they've lost both their T1s as well. So it's not like they can send anybody out there.
They can't attack either. So they're
this is game over. This is definitely going URDead's way. And once again, I thought it was kind of a rash push early on by the Night Eagles.
I felt like they should have at least got some more vision.
Sort of like they should. I think they should have waited a little bit more so that the heavy tanks from URDead would actually push further down south, like to give them a little more distance, a little more time for the capture. They were a little too hasty on that. It was cheeky enough. I mean, they went up to what 85, 86%. But had they waited, just pretty much offer their base and just waited right next to the base to start this capture, probably it could have potentially worked out their way.
Yeah, quite possibly. I feel like if they did wait just a couple more seconds to actually have the URDead team move more down south, then that couple seconds actually could have won them the set.
All right, and taking a look at the URDead team and the Night Eagles, and the Night Eagles expression pretty grim, if you ask me. Yeah. You know what? There hadn't been like that many people out there in the mall like when we first started, but it's slowly starting to creep in now. So yeah, definitely just sort of building up. Kind of an atmosphere for the players, and well, as we're looking at the Night Eagles faces, wow, looking pretty grim and serious, if you ask me. I mean, they definitely have to come back with a response. This is the best of 7, so they do have room for several more mistakes, but you don't be trailing down in a final. I mean, far from it. Potentially, we could see quite a few switches in momentum as we go back and forth, but you definitely don't want to give a team like URDead a 2-set-to-love lead, pretty much. So they're definitely going to have to come back with something more tangible in the upcoming second set. Now, I thought that, once again, coming back to this first set, we just witnessed that it was a pretty daring push from Night Eagles, very exposed out there, but just execution-wise, I think they should have waited just a wee bit longer.
Yeah, or at least baited the URDead team to come down south.
Well, and they did, but they should have waited a little longer. Once again, I think it would have been wiser for them to just wait for the URDead tanks, heavy forces, to actually just go towards down that railroad quite a bit more. Even if you just put more distance, like it just takes you that much more time to just come back and defend this, not to...
Because honestly, yeah, maybe 10 seconds even.
Would have done it, pretty much. Because, like, yeah, the T1 Scout was destroyed down south. I mean, like, the Night Eagles had lost both their T1s early on, but that wouldn't matter because, I mean, they went all in with that push. They went all in anyways, so okay, just better sacrifice those scouts, which they did, but they should have let their opponents even start perhaps a base capture. Yeah. Because I mean, all their heavy tanks were up there pretty much. They hadn't divided their forces, so I think they could have pulled this off had they waited just a little more. I guess a little impatient. But the thing is, they had no idea where the URDead team was. So but if you're going for something as risky as this, if you're going all in for a central push like this, then you might as well go all the way.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? mean, because then like what they did pretty much was give You Are Dead all the time in the well to retaliate, and at this level and at this stage of the competition, that's pretty much suicide. I mean, let's face it. So that's kind of not disappointing, but kind of surprising, because in their semi-final against Avant-Garde, what they did was show so much composure, but as we had mentioned before the match actually started, this is an offline event.
Yeah, so actually the nerves could be kind of pushing them to do something more aggressive than they're actually used to. But
I'm thinking that, there was maybe a little bit of nerves like coming into play
maybe
for this
overexcited,
first set, sort of, and a little rash and a little a little hasty. As well, something they will have to correct for this upcoming second set, of course. Now, when it comes to You Are Dead, they didn't really have to do much now on there, did they?
They really didn't, because all they're camping the north western corner. So they're pretty much waiting for the Night Eagles to make the first move. They did send their WZ-132 down south, down the railway, to kind of spot out, what the Night Eagles were planning to do. However, I feel like the Night Eagles kind of gave away their strategy by
too soon.
by capturing the base, just say, yeah, we're in your base.
Well, I mean, there's that, and also let us not forget the fact that they were rolling out with 3 T-69s, so in close quarter combat like that, on a map like Himmelsturm, they're obviously outgunned as well, which is why they couldn't really afford to do something that rash. Well, personally, that's what I think, but it was... I guess it was a bold attempt. Just once again,
it could have worked out. If actually the...
Alright, in any event, now we are ready for set number 2, and look at that, like right now, the Night Eagles definitely meaning business still, so we're gonna have to see what kind of response they come up with. Let's go to Ensk, and here we are.